Alright guys, so carpet out, dash out. Here's why I emphasize, if you don't know how to do stuff such as wiring, just don't touch it, just do not do it, because you can see here he's actually jacked into, this is the which stalk was this? This was the light stalk. So goes up there. He's actually jacked into the light stalk to get accessory power for his little gauge that he had. Full rookie move. He's also used speaker cable, also a rookie move, but that's not the worst of it. Look at what he's done to the headset, the radio unit. So yeah, now I'd be surprised if any of these were soldered at all, but yeah, it's going to be a massive headache for me right now. It's probably what I'm going to work on, is getting the dash out of the other car and then fixing this fucking mess, putting this into an appropriate spot. I might even leave it where it is, but I'm sure not leaving it like that. And yeah, so to add to the fun, he's actually also wired in a secret kill switch. So it looks like this is going to the key barrel into here somewhere, and then coming out here. So yeah, so I'd say it kills maybe the engine fuse or something like that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to solder the ends on this side, solder them back together. Might actually open that up and see what he's done. Might be a little bit more complicated than just soldering the ends. I don't want to leave some fucking shitty wiring in there. Yeah, this is what I didn't want to see though. I hate it when people mess with shit. They have no idea what they're doing, or what the fuck. Like, you can tell he has no idea what he's doing when you look at this. I'll open one of these up now and see if they're even soldered. Well, should have given him a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but I mean, that's pretty fucking gross soldering anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out everything on the Bravo and start fixing this mess. And then I'm gonna start cleaning. So look at this shit. So he's fucking twisted. Mate, if you're watching this, you're a fucking mess and you shouldn't be doing shit like this. I told you I had a YouTube channel. If you see this, man, this is fucked. Look at this. So he's got his fucking speaker cable not even really twisted on there. It's not soldered. I can pull it off just like that. Very little tension. So that is a speaker cable. And then look at this. So he severed something. I've got no idea what it is. But in this loom he's actually cut it clean out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to resolder that, heat shrink it, and I'm going to wrap all this in some black electric tape. I'm going to do that right now before I do anything else. So this just confirms, and I'm fucking harping on, but this just confirms to me that every bit of wiring that's not stock in here, come on, focus up, I've got to go through and fix. So I've got my heat shrink ready to go on. I'm going to solder that back up and then wrap it properly, and it'll look almost factory. You'll be able to tell because there's electrical tape where there shouldn't be. But yeah, that's appalling. So I'm going to open up this loom too, because who knows what the fuck's going on in there. Follow this around. Oh, never mind. That's it. So yeah, don't use speaker wires either. They're not rated for that much power. They're only rated for a very small amount of signal. They will burn out very quickly. So yeah, follow this around. I'll probably delete whatever the fuck he's done here with the kill switch. I'm gonna fix it in here on the fuse side too. And I'm not looking forward to what I'm about to find. But yeah, just warming up my solder this up, heat shrink, boom boom bam. Soldered. It won't focus. Come on, focus up. Focus. There we go, soldered and then a heat shrink. Lucky I looked in there, so that's fixed, heat shrinked. So when I say, like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it, I don't mean that. I mean, do good research and make sure that you're doing it the best of your ability. Like, don't just dive in blind and not do research or settle for a really shitty job, because that's not going to get you anywhere. So that's fixed. Now I'm going to wrap this up and let's look at these other wiring issues. So fixing this and this, and I'll fix that just before I put the dash in. There you go. So I wrapped the original loom back around it a bit, and I just used the black electric tape, and they already had some running through here, so it almost looks seamless. If you know what you're looking at, you know that's been fucked with, because it should look like that, with just the loom with the electrical tape just holding stuff together. But you know what? I am a lot happier with that than whatever the fuck I just had. Alright, now let's dive into here. Alright, so we're back into it. So you can see here, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's start, but you can see how he stepped down this, like, what, 6 gauge wire down into like a I'm not sure, much thinner wire. And then you can see what it does. So it comes down on the black into these ends. These ends would have gone into a switch that I must have pulled off behind the dash, and then when the switch is engaged it turns to red, and that goes and powers this here terminal. I'm going to try crimp a new terminal end on, solder the end, and I should hopefully be able to reach up in there and then replace the whole terminal with the original. Alright, so there's that in. It is quite tight on there, but once that's plugged in, it shouldn't matter too much. Oh no, of course it goes to the back one. Alright, hang on, I might need to reassess this. Yeah, that will reach. That's that last repair was shit, so because it was focus up. Ah, come on. Focus. Yeah, because it's putting too much strain on this little cable here, so I extended it, soldered it, heat shrinked it, crimped it, soldered the crimp. Now, there we go. Oh. I can push this in, not push in, and there we go. Just like factory, except for a little bit of metal sticking out here. That's got me thinking I'm gonna wrap it in some electrical tape too. There we are. So that has been fixed. This has been fixed. Now time to look at this. What joys wait for me under here? So this one is much like the first one. He's just bypassed something. So in order for these two original cables to connect, the switch would have had to be engaged. So I'm assuming that's like the engine fuse or something, not 100%, not gonna check, I'm just gonna put it back the way it was. There we go. All fixed. I just gotta clean that end up a little. But yeah, all fixed. Back to legit. You can see my little, there's my repair, that black one going in to there. This is fixed, this is fixed, this is fixed. That is a mess. Alright, so quick update. I'm gonna give all this a wire wheel and put some anti-rust black on there. I've got the dash out of the Bravo and the seats. So there's the seats in the Bravo, there's the dash. So here is the Bravo now. I think it'd still drive if I put the steering wheel on. Put the barrel in, I'm pretty sure it'd drive if I needed to move it, which I don't. It's much cleaner everything. Now that I'm looking, I'm not going to do that, but I can actually steal this bar, take it out and give it a paint. Tempting. Extremely tempting. Shit, everything's so much cleaner in this car. But yeah, alright. See what I do. I might even steal all the ducting and stuff. But yeah, Makes me sad every time I look at it. So you got that, you got that. Two very different worlds. Alright. You'll see what I do in the next clip. Or I decide to take that bar out, give it a full clean. So I took the dash support from inside the Bravo. I'm going to paint it, put it in place in the Korea. I don't know if I'm going to steal all that other stuff. I mean, it's in much better condition, sort of. It's not really, so might just leave that as it is. Start focusing on putting the Korea back together. So I wire wheeled it down, and now I painted it with a aerosol rust converter black, gloss black. So yeah, that I know nobody's going to see it, but it's just the sort of personality that I've got. I can't help but go above and beyond on useless shit that no one will ever notice, but at the end of the day it's going to be pretty sick and I'm going to know it's done. So are you. Alright, while I wait for the paint to dry, I've given this dash from the Bravo good clean, taken all the electronics off it except for the cigarette sockets, because they're very simple to dry out. Give that a good clean, letting it dry. While I let that dry, I've stolen the stock wiring harness for the stereo off the Bravo, and I'm going to fix this mess while I'm in here. So this will be basically stock again. It will be stock again. So that's what he's cut off, and then he spliced it all into individual bits. I'm going to cut it up here somewhere and solder and heat shrink everything. So a little bit in it, but not that much. There we go. So that's all soldered, heat shrunk. There's the plug. So it is longer than it would have been stock, but I'm going to wrap all that in black, and I've basically fixed his shitty workmanship. Yeah, super unimpressed. If you don't know what you're doing, practice on something less important than your car. If you are practicing on your car, do it to the best of your ability. Alright guys, so here we are. I have managed to put the dash support in, giving everything a pretty good clean back here. So I've gone through with that rust paint, rust converting aerosol, and I've just sprayed down a bit of like a few extra areas. Found a mouse nest in behind there, giving this all a good clean. It's looking pretty sweet. Dash is clean. I'll be back into it tomorrow. Here she is all together. So I've wired in speaker for the stereo. This is all the gauge wiring. This is for a dash cam, and then there's one down there for the UHF. So I've done all my wiring. Now I'm gonna whack the dash in. Alrighty, so we got the dash in. It's looking pretty good. Everything's wired up. Everything fits. Managed to get rid of the RFW switch. The other dash had that little coin holder thing in there, so that's good. Clock from the original Korea, which is awesome. I mentioned that. Another bit of respect I'm paying to the Bravo. So I'm putting its steering wheel in here. Let's give it the Mazda badge, even though it's a Ford. It's just a bit of respect to the old Korea. So all that's wired up. Everything's good. Right now, this roof is disgusting. So what I've done, I've taken the roof off the Bravo, and that's going to go in there. I'm probably going to use all the plastics off the Bravo and stuff too. So I've given that a bit of a wash, and I'm just letting it fully dry out as I take out the other roof. There it is. Saves me a lot of cleaning. It wasn't too dirty up in here. Yeah. So that's looking mint. Now I'm gonna clean that back wall, clean all these side pillars and stuff. Got my dash cam running through. So yeah, get all this fitted up. Here's what the roof looks like in here. Mint, just like everything else. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. That was part 4. In part 5, we're going to rip out the engine. I have a good mate of mine, Horse, who comes out and helps me. I was going to include that part in this episode, although it just doesn't make sense to kind of go into that stuff now. So hang with me. I am getting a little bit ahead, so the next episode will be out in a week. And yeah, I have a good mate who helps me out, and couldn't have done it without him. If you like this sort of stuff, remember to like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments, and I'll try to do better. Really appreciate any support. Thanks, guys. Findog out.